This is a 3-part lesson. We're going to first be learning the song Wonderful World by Sam Cooke, then we're going to learn about diatonic chords, and then we're also going to learn a specific strumming pattern that I like to use for this song. It involves a roll technique. There are PDF charts that you can use to follow along with this lesson, and the link for those is in the description of this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. First, let's learn Wonderful World by Sam Cooke. We first have a C major chord, then we have an A minor chord, then we have an F major chord, and then we have a G7 chord. And so that little 4-chord progression, we do it twice in the very first verse. So, don't know much about history, don't know much biology. Again, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took. And each chord is getting 4 beats, so. Don't know much about history. F, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, again, C, 2, 3, 4, A minor, F, G7. And then we sort of get to the chorus, which goes C to F, C to F, then G7 to C. So pretty simple. So then it basically does that 2 times. So verse, chorus, and then we have the bridge. So I'm going to do the bridge really quickly. So we have G7 for 4 beats. So, and the lyrics are, now I don't claim. Then we go to C to be an A student. Back to G7, but I'm trying to be. Then D7, but maybe by being an A student, baby. We stay on D7 for 3 measures, so 3 counts of 4. I can have your love for, and then on the word me, we switch back to G7. Me, back to the top, I don't know much about history. Back to the verse, F, then G7, so we go C, A minor, F, G7. So those are the chords, and a fun strumming pattern that I like to use for this song is a variation of our sort of common island strum, which goes down, down, up, up, down, up. So this is a pretty common strumming pattern that you've probably done before. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the second down strum and we're going to place it with a roll. So you can sort of accent that second beat and emphasize it a little bit and give it a bit of a flourish. So to do a roll, first we need to make sure we know how to do that. So you can take your hand and try your right hand if you're right-handed, left-handed if you're left-handed. And I'm just going to hold my hand in a fist over the strings. And first I'm going to extend my pinky, then my ring, then my middle finger, and then my index finger. So I'm going pinky, ring, middle, index, so like that. And a good exercise is to just try doing that slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice I'm not going 1, 2. I'm not moving my whole hand. I'm forcing my fingers to do the work by going. They're extending. And that's what's causing the strum, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then we want to smooth it out a little bit to make it a roll. Like that. And something that I think helps with the roll technique is to think of your fingernails really going up and out. So when I'm rolling it, I'm really going on my fingernails, and I'm really thinking of sending those nails up and out to the ceiling or away from me as I'm doing it. So they're really going, it really makes like a flourish, like that. And so this just gives it a little more variety. Instead of just sounding like down, down, up, up, we can go down, roll up, down, roll up, down, up. So it sounds a little more interesting than just that normal basic strumming pattern. So let's do that with the song. And so I'm going to play through the song with the chords, and you can follow along. Don't know I took, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. I don't know much about geography, don't know much trigonometry, don't know much about algebra, don't know what a slide rule is for, but I do know that 1 and 1 is 2. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this could be. Now the bridge. Now I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. But maybe by being an A student, baby, I can win your love for me. I don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Yeah. Now, if you look at the PDFs I've included, I have one version of the chart that has the chord names in Roman numerals and the actual chord names, like their letter names, in parentheses. And then I have a page that just has the Roman numerals. And that's because I think this is a really nice song to practice your diatonic chords and memorizing them and quizzing them. So what are diatonic chords? You can think of diatonic chords as like a close family of chords related to a specific key. So let's think about the key of C major, since it's nice and easy because there are no sharps and flats in the key. So if you're playing a song in the key of C major, there's a good chance that you're gonna have some of these diatonic chords related to C major in the song. So first, let's name the notes in a C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. So it's moving alphabetically, but starting on C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Obviously, we don't have any note after G, because in the musical alphabet, that's all we go up to. So after G, we go back to A. Now, we can think of each of these notes, the letters, as numbers in the scale. So we can number them. So C would be number 1, D is number 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, and B is 7. And if we think about them numerically, we can think of these as degrees of the scale. So those are the notes in the scale, but now each note in the scale has a corresponding diatonic chord. And basically they are all minor chords, or a type of minor chord, except for the 1, the 4, and the 5. So our first degree is a 1, right? C. And so that's a major chord, because as I said, the major chords are the 1, the 4, and the 5. So our diatonic chord, one of the diatonic chords, is C major. The next one, the 2, is going to be D, but is D major or minor? Well, I said that the 1, the 4, and the 5 are always major, so that would mean that the 2 is going to be a minor. So we have D minor. So C major, then D minor. Then the third degree, that's an E, C, D, E. Is it going to be major or minor? Well, again, I said the 1, the 4, and the 5 are our major chords, and so the 3 would be a minor chord as well. So we have C major, D minor, E minor. Now what about the fourth degree? We have F. So is the fourth degree a major or a minor diatonic chord? Well, I said the 1, the 4, and the 5. So yes, the F would be a major chord. So we have F major. So far we have 1 is C major, 2 is D minor, 3 is E minor, 4 is F major. Now the fifth degree is major. So C, D, E, F, G, G major, and it's actually a dominant 7 chord. And a dominant 7 chord, which is what we would think of as the chord G7, its real name is G dominant 7. G7 is a type of major chord, but the fifth degree is always this dominant 7 chord. Now, the sixth degree is A, so C, D, E, F, G, A, and now is the sixth degree major or minor? It's minor, because remember, 1, 4, and 5 are our only major chords. So let's just review. So far we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G7, A minor, and then last but not least, we have the seventh degree, which is B, and it's B diminished. And a diminished chord is a type of minor chord. Now that is the chord that is least likely to pop up, and it's actually not in this song, Wonderful World, at all, so you don't need to worry about it for this. And out of all the diatonic chords, it's the one that you see the least often. So I'd say don't worry about it too much right now. And if you've played songs in the key of C, there's a good chance that you recognize all these chords. You probably say, hey, I've played these chords a lot. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G7, A minor, and B diminished. Those are all chords that pop up quite a lot in songs in the key of C major. And that is because they are part of that close-knit family of the key of C, are diatonic chords in the key of C major. So if you were to look at the chart that just has the Roman numerals, you can quiz yourself and try to get familiar with these diatonic chords. For instance, the first chord, it says 1. So what is our 1 chord in the key of C? Well, it's a C. So 1. And then the next chord it says is a 6th. Well, do you remember what the 6th chord is? C, D, E, F, G, A. A, it's A something. Is it A major or A minor? Remember, 1, 4, and 5 are major, so it's a minor, A minor. So we have C major, the 1, then 6, which is A minor, and then we have the 4th degree chord, 4 chord. So what is 4? C, D, E, F, F, and is it a major or a minor chord? Well, remember, 1, 4, and 5 are major, so it's F major. F major for the 4th, and then the 5th is going to be C, D, E, F, G, G. And it's a dominant 7 chord because it's our 5th degree, so G7. So 1 is C, 6 is A minor, 4 is F, and then 5 is G7. And then it repeats again, 1, 6, 4, 5, and then we go to the chorus. We have the 1, which is C, and then the 4, which is F, back to the 1, and then again the 4, which is F, and then the 5, which is G7, and then it goes to the C. So that is just for the verse and chorus. Now when we get to the bridge, it gets a little more interesting because we have something called a 5 of 5. So in the very beginning of the bridge, it starts with just the 5 chord, which is G7, and then it goes back to the 1, which is C, then it goes back to the 5, which is G7, and then back to the 1, which is C. Then it says you go to the 5 of 5. So that means you're actually going to go to the 5th degree of the 5th degree. So first let's figure out what is the 5th degree of C? C, D, E, F, G. It's a G. So I need to know the 5th degree of G. So we're going to have to think about our G major scale and figure out what is the 5th degree of G major. So G, A, B, C, D. D is the 5th degree of G major. So this chord is going to be a D7 chord because it's the dominant of the key of G, the 5 of the 5 in our key of C. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're confused by that, I can make another video about this kind of stuff later. Just feel free to post a comment and say that you're confused, but that is what that means, 5th of the 5th, so the 5th degree of the 5th degree. So in this case, it would be D7. So 5 of 5, 5 of 5, 3 times, and then we go back to the 5 of C, which is just G7. Try it out yourself. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.